Are you aware that some of the most common exercises, ones many people do without a second thought, could be slowly destroying your knees? It's true. If you're over 60 and still performing certain high-impact routines, you may be unknowingly pushing yourself closer to chronic pain, joint inflammation, or even knee replacement surgery. That's not an exaggeration. Our knees change with age. The cushioning cartilage thins out, joints become stiffer, and the body takes much longer to recover from strain. The real danger: some exercises often praised as healthy are actually speeding up that wear and tear. If you value your freedom, your ability to move with ease, and your independence, it's crucial to recognize these silent threats. In today's guide, we'll walk you through 6 exercises that seniors should avoid at all costs before they cause lasting damage that can't be undone. Your knees deserve better. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type C to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Running on hard surfaces. The hidden danger beneath your feet. Running might seem like a timeless way to stay in shape, but once you're over Altmish, it can quietly become one of the worst things you do to your knees, especially if you're running on hard surfaces like concrete or asphalt. With every stride, your legs absorb a powerful impact, and that force doesn't just vanish. It travels up through your feet, ankles, and directly into your knees, sometimes delivering pressure that's several times your body weight. In your younger years, your joints were more forgiving. The cartilage was thick, springy, and made to handle that kind of stress. But as we age, that natural cushioning wears thin. The shock that used to be absorbed smoothly now hits bone and joint tissue directly. What once felt like a refreshing jog can now be silently chipping away at your knee health. At first, it's easy to brush off the warning signs. Maybe you notice a bit of stiffness in the morning, a faint ache in your knees after a walk, a mild discomfort going upstairs. But these aren't just signs of getting older. They're signs of where your body pleading with you to ease off before real damage sets in. The problem is that many seniors don't listen to these signals. They assume soreness is normal and push through. But unlike in youth, your body can't bounce back in the same way. Repeated pounding on unforgiving surfaces speeds up the breakdown of joint cartilage, leaving your bones unprotected and grinding against one another. Eventually, the consequences become impossible to ignore. Chronic swelling, sharp, stabbing pains, that terrifying moment when your knee buckles without warning, followed by a popping sound, and the sudden inability to bear weight. These are the telltale signs of ligament tears, meniscus injuries, or advanced osteoarthritis, and recovery isn't easy. What used to be fixed with a few days of rest now often requires months of therapy, painful injections, or even surgery. And even then, the knee may never fully recover. Tasks you once did without a second thought: getting out of a car, walking across the yard, kneeling to garden, now feel daunting or downright painful. The tragedy is that many seniors who experience this type of knee damage had the best intentions. They ran to stay healthy, to stay young, to stay active. But instead, they lost the very freedom they were trying to protect. And unfortunately, this isn't the only exercise that puts your knees at serious risk. Up next, we'll look at another common workout: Many older adults still do in the hopes of building strength, but it might be the very thing pushing your joints toward irreversible breakdown. 2. High-impact jumping exercises. The hidden threat in every leap. For many seniors, jumping exercises seem like a spirited way to stay fit after all. They're often associated with youthful energy, balance, and coordination. But behind that energetic motion lies a serious danger. High-impact jumping routines can be devastating to aging knees, often causing damage that's difficult, if not impossible, to reverse. The act of launching your body into the air and landing again places intense force directly on the knee joint. It's a level of stress that younger bodies might handle without issue, thanks to their flexible tendons, strong ligaments, and thick cartilage. But after TRIZ, the body no longer has that same level of resilience. The cushioning in your knees becomes thinner. Your ligaments don't bounce back the way they used to. And your ability to heal after impact becomes slower and less reliable. What feels like a slight ache after a workout isn't just a passing discomfort, it's your body raising a red flag. Those small twinges you notice after a jump, they're signals of microtrauma. Tiny tears form in the protective cartilage. And while each one might seem insignificant, they don't heal like they once did. Instead, they accumulate, slowly, relentlessly, until one day, you're not just sore, you're limping. Or worse, you land awkwardly during a jump, and a sharp pain surges through your leg. You can't stand up. You've torn a ligament or damaged your meniscus. And suddenly, you're no longer thinking about agility. You're thinking about surgery, rehabilitation, and whether you'll ever walk comfortably again. Injuries like these are more than setbacks. For older adults, they often signal a permanent shift in lifestyle. Recovery from knee injuries can stretch into months, and even then, full recovery isn't always possible. The knee never quite feels normal again. Your stride changes. Your confidence in movement takes a hit, and with that comes a quiet fear, a hesitation to walk, to climb stairs, to go out on your own. And that's perhaps the most painful cost of all. Not just the physical pain, but the emotional toll of losing your freedom. Something as simple as rising from a chair or going for a short walk becomes daunting. Your world starts to shrink. You avoid activities you once enjoyed, not because you want to, but because you have to. Unfortunately, the dangers don't stop there. There's another common exercise that many seniors turn to for building lower body strength. It looks safe. It feels controlled, but it may be placing tremendous strain on your knees with every single repetition. What you'll hear next might change how you view this safe movement forever. 3. Leg press with heavy weights. The hidden destroyer in the gym. At first glance, the leg press machine looks like one of the safer tools in the fitness center. You're seated, your back is supported, and you're simply pushing with your legs. For many older adults, that sense of control makes it seem like a great option for keeping legs strong. But what feels secure can actually be deeply deceptive. For seniors, especially those over 60, the leg press machine can quietly become a major culprit behind knee damage and declining joint health. Here's why. When you load heavy weights onto the machine and push against them, you're not just working your muscles, you're placing tremendous pressure on your knee joints. The angle of the machine forces your knees into a deep, compressed position while demanding they bear the full load of resistance. That's not how the knees were meant to function, especially not as they age and cartilage begins to thin. Over time, this movement acts like a vice, pressing down on the cartilage, squeezing out the natural lubrication that keeps the joint moving smoothly. Without that cushion, the bones begin to grind. It doesn't happen all at once. In the beginning, it may just feel like stiffness or soreness after a workout, maybe a mild ache behind the knee. Easy to ignore, easy to dismiss. But with each session, that wear and tear compounds. What once felt like a productive exercise quietly transforms into an ongoing attack on your joint health. Then one day, it hits. You're midway through a set, and suddenly there's a sharp, stabbing pain. You feel something give. You try to release the weight, but your leg doesn't respond the way it should. The damage has been done: a torn meniscus, a strained ligament, or worse, a fracture in the kneecap. The recovery that follows is long, painful, and uncertain. And even if the injury heals, your confidence in your legs may never return. You begin to move more cautiously. You avoid stairs. You think twice before getting in and out of a car. Simple movements start to feel risky. The leg press doesn't just strain your knees, it can take away your mobility, your confidence, and your independence. And yet, it's still widely recommended to seniors trying to stay strong. But strength isn't just about lifting heavier. It's about preserving the joints that make movement possible in the first place. Unfortunately, the leg press isn't the only common gym exercise silently wearing down your knees. There's one more movement, often done with good intentions, that may be pushing your joints to the edge without you even realizing it. And this next one might be the most misleading of all. Keep listening, because what you're about to learn could be the key to protecting your knees from irreversible harm. 4. Lunges. The hidden threat in your workout. Lunges often show up on exercise lists as a go-to for building leg strength and balance. But for seniors, they can quietly become one of the most damaging moves you can make, especially when it comes to protecting aging knees. At first, lunges appear harmless enough. Step forward. Lower yourself down. Push back up. Simple. Right. Unfortunately, simplicity doesn't mean safety. And this move carries risks that most people over 60 don't fully understand. When you perform a lunge, your front knee bends deeply while carrying most of your body weight. This deep bend forces the knee joint into a compromised position, especially for older adults whose cartilage has already started to thin. Every rep grinds the kneecap against the joint surface, and your back leg. It's bent at an awkward angle that places excessive strain on tight ligaments and sensitive connective tissue. You might feel fine at first, maybe just a small ache afterward, or some stiffness the next morning. Easy to write off. But that ache is a message. It's your knee telling you that something's not right. Repeated lunges create tiny tears in the meniscus and surrounding ligaments, which don't heal the way they used to. Instead, the damage builds up silently, steadily. The joint becomes inflamed. The cushioning wears down, and soon, even walking across the room feels heavier, more painful, more uncertain. Then one day, it happens. Maybe you lunge too deep. Maybe you twist just slightly. A sudden snap, a sharp pain. You know immediately that something has gone wrong. Injuries like ligament sprains, meniscus tears, or even kneecap dislocations can all begin with a seemingly ordinary lunge. And once these injuries occur, the road to recovery is long and rarely brings you back to where you started. Physical therapy, rest, maybe even surgery. all from one exercise that was meant to help. The cruel irony is that lunges can take away the very thing they're supposed to support: your ability to stand, move freely, and live independently. Even worse, many seniors don't recognize the source of their pain. The damage comes on so gradually that it's easy to assume it's just part of aging. Some try to push through, thinking more effort will fix it. Others give up entirely, avoiding exercise out of fear. But either path leads to the same place: weaker legs, reduced confidence, and a growing sense of physical limitation. And here's the real warning: lunges aren't the only seemingly healthy movement putting your knees in danger. There's another exercise, often praised for building leg strength, that actually puts tremendous pressure on the knees and could be doing more harm than good with every rep. It's a move that looks productive but could be quietly setting you up for long-term joint trouble. Stay with me, because what you'll hear next about deep squats might just change how you protect your knees forever. 5. Deep squats, the fast lane to joint breakdown. Deep squats are often celebrated for building lower body strength and stability. But for seniors, they can be one of the most harmful exercises you can do to your knees. The movement looks simple: just lower yourself down and rise back up. Yet beneath that simplicity is a biomechanical strain that aging joints are not built to withstand. When you drop into a deep squat, your knees bend far beyond their natural, safe range. This intense flexion places enormous pressure on your cartilage, tendons, and ligaments, tissues that become thinner, stiffer, and less forgiving with age. In your younger years, your joints were protected by a thick cushion of cartilage. It absorbed shocks and kept your bones from grinding. But now, each deep squat erodes more of that cushion. The bones in your knee come closer together. The soft tissues get squeezed and strained, and even if you don't feel intense pain right away, damage is quietly building. Many seniors begin to notice mild stiffness or a dull ache after exercising. These aren't just signs of aging, they're red flags. Your knees are telling you they're under attack. Over time, this repeated stress wears down what's left of your joint protection. The cartilage begins to fray. Inflammation sets in. The soft padding you once had slowly disappears. Then one day, it happens. A pop. A sharp pain. And suddenly you're struggling just to stand. This is how deep squats lead to meniscus injuries, ligament tears, or full-blown arthritis. And unlike muscle soreness, joint damage doesn't simply fade away. Cartilage doesn't regenerate. Once it's gone, and you're left with chronic pain, stiffness, and limited mobility. Recovery isn't easy. Physical therapy, steroid injections, or even surgery may follow. And in many cases, the knee never feels the same again. What was once a familiar, easy movement, getting out of a chair, kneeling, walking downstairs, now becomes a daily challenge. Even worse, many seniors keep pushing through the pain, convinced that it's just part of growing older. But pain is never just normal. It's your body pleading with you to stop before irreversible harm is done. The real danger of deep squats is their gradual destruction. The wear and tear is slow, almost invisible until the damage is already deep. Each repetition chips away at your independence. Each set takes you one step closer to the kind of injury that changes your life forever. But if you think deep squats are the worst offender, I think again. There's another everyday activity, one that feels productive, even routine, that might be straining your knees even more. And it doesn't happen in a gym. It happens at home, at work, Even on your morning walk, carrying weight while climbing stairs might seem harmless. But the hidden cost could be devastating. Keep listening, because this next one could be the tipping point your knees can't afford. 6. Stair climbing with excessive load. The overlooked danger to senior knees. Climbing stairs is something we've all done thousands of times. So routine. So familiar. It rarely crosses our minds as risky. But as we age, this simple daily action, especially when done while carrying extra weight, can quietly become one of the biggest threats to our knee health. What used to be harmless can now put tremendous strain on joints that have lost much of their natural cushion and flexibility. You might not feel it right away. Maybe there's a little soreness after bringing up groceries or a twinge in your knees when heading down. These minor annoyances are your body's early warning system. Each step you take while climbing stairs places a load on your knees that can exceed twice your body weight. Add a heavy bag, or even just repeated use, and you're pushing your knees well beyond what they can comfortably handle in your later years. Over time, this constant pressure begins to erode the cartilage that protects your bones from grinding against each other. That cushion thins. The ligaments holding your knee in place begin to overstretch. Micro tears develop too small to notice at first, but cumulative in their damage. Slowly, the resilience fades, and what started as occasional soreness becomes a persistent, aching pain that doesn't go away. Then comes the moment you never saw coming. A single misstep. A sudden jolt. Your knee buckles, or worse, you feel a sharp sting that takes your breath away. Maybe you catch yourself on the railing. Maybe you don't. Injuries like meniscus tears, sprained ligaments, or damage to the kneecap can happen in the blink of an eye, caused not by an accident, but by years of unnoticed wear and tear. And while going upstairs is tough, going down is even harder on aging knees. The downward motion demands greater control from your joints, forcing them to absorb shock that they're no longer built to handle. With every step down, your knee is fighting to stabilize your body, often unsuccessfully. It's no wonder so many seniors begin to fear the stairs they once took for granted. But the pain is more than physical. It chips away at your confidence. Suddenly, the freedom to move around your own home feels compromised. You avoid certain rooms. You hesitate before visiting a friend with a walk-up apartment. Independence starts to feel out of reach. Not because you're unwilling, but because your body can't keep up anymore. Some well-meaning folks think staying active is the solution. Just keep moving, they say. And while activity is important, ignoring knee pain and pushing through discomfort often leads to more harm than good. Without understanding the toll certain movements take, especially stair climbing under load, seniors may unknowingly accelerate the very breakdown they're trying to prevent. The harsh reality, continuing down this path, can lead to chronic joint damage, reduced mobility, and eventually the need for major interventions like surgery or knee replacement. But that doesn't have to be your story. You've now heard the truth. Common movements, once harmless, can turn against you as your body changes, but there's still time to make a shift. There are better ways to strengthen your legs, support your knees, and stay active without risking serious harm. The decision is yours. Will you keep repeating old patterns that slowly wear you down, or will you choose smarter strategies that help you move through life with freedom, strength, and grace? It's not too late. The next chapter can still be written on your terms. What to do instead? Keeping your knees safe while staying strong. Giving up risky exercises doesn't mean letting go of strength or independence. It simply means being wise about how you move. Protecting your knees isn't about doing less, it's about doing better. With age, your joints deserve thoughtful care, and every workout choice you make today will echo into your future, either preserving your freedom of movement or slowly taking it away. Let's be clear, low impact doesn't mean low benefit. In fact, some of the most joint-friendly exercises are also incredibly effective. Movements that promote muscle strength, balance, and stability without jarring or compressing the knees are the safest and most sustainable path forward. Swimming, gentle cycling, and using an elliptical trainer all raise your heart rate while going easy on your joints. These are exercises that support longevity, not just sweat. Even in strength training, you can still make progress without piling on the weight. Focus on lighter resistance and more repetitions. This approach strengthens the muscles around the knee, particularly the quadriceps and hamstrings, helping to support and protect the joint with every step you take. Choosing soft walking surfaces like grass, tracks, or well-padded shoes can also dramatically lower the impact on your knees over time. Equally important is the role of flexibility and posture. When the muscles around your knee are tight, they pull on the joint, increasing stress and making movement more difficult. Gentle daily stretching, restorative yoga, or a slow Tai Chi practice can all improve your range of motion and ease tension in the surrounding muscles. These practices don't just make you feel better in the moment, they prevent chronic stiffness and discomfort later on. Balance exercises are often forgotten, but they're critical in preventing falls that can change everything in an instant. Simple drills like standing on one foot, shifting your weight slowly from side to side, or using a balance ball can build the strength and awareness your body needs to stay upright and stable. But above all, the greatest protection for your knees comes from paying attention. Pain is never just part of the process. It's your body waving a red flag. Pushing through sharp pain or lingering soreness isn't bravery, it's a shortcut to injury. Learning to distinguish between productive effort and dangerous strain is essential. Especially as you grow older, the aim isn't just to stay active, it's to stay mobile, pain-free, and fully present in your life. There's no victory in workouts that leave you limping or dreading the next day. Real strength is being able to rise from a chair without help, walk confidently without fear, and keep pace with the people and activities you love. Your knees have carried you through a lifetime. Return the favor, care for them with intention today, and they'll support your freedom tomorrow. Let this be a quiet reminder that aging wisely means moving smart, not harder. I'd really like to hear from you. Take a few seconds to think about what stuck with you most and let us know what you're going to put into practice. We're all learning together, and your story might inspire someone else. If this video gave you something valuable, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, go ahead and type 0. Your honest feedback helps us grow. And while you're here, don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a tip made just for you. Thanks for being here. And remember, this is your life, your way.